We got you.
Just sit there.
Perfect.
A little one of music, come on.
About to say, what does that mean?
I'll introduce. I'll bring us. Just dance.
When the music come on.
We got you.
Perfect.
Music, come on.
Yeah, we on a sistership. Come with us, we on a sistership. Yeah, we on a sistership. Roll with us, we on a sistership. Sistership, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sistership, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sistership, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sistership, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. We're my sisters, we got this sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. We're my sisters, we got this sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. Substance, oh. Sis, you know we on a mission, no games. Hey. Get over some things, real strength bring change. Cause we've been through the rain. Now it's time to shine like blame. Let's talk about life skills. We building up our quality the right will. We rolling out of poverty, love heals. So we become the prodigy of how a sistership could be a really hot commodity stand. Together we united, hold hands, support each other dreams and our plans, doing everything we can. Come on. Just to show we understand the power of a friendship, fam. Live life on purpose. Together we learn it. Yeah, let's talk. We don't want to see you hurt, and we here for each other, no matter the color. Networking. Hey! Yeah, we on a sistership. Come with us. We on a sistership. Yeah, we on a sistership. Roll with us. We on a sistership. We're my sisters. We got this sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. We're my sisters. We got this sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. Sistership. We got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sistership. We got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sistership. We got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sistership. We got this now. Come on, let's talk about it.
We on a sistership. We on a sistership.
We on
Take over.
Hey, oh my God, I'm so excited about today. Can I tell y'all? Oh my God, this Sunday, we are going to be rocking this Sunday. I'm so excited about today. This is your girl, Sistahship, Queen of Bling. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
where's all
Hello.
hello.
in the house? Tiffany Rowe.info, Bay Row Real Estate. Hey, Tiff.
Hey, good day, ladies. We are entering spring. I'm trying to get sprung. And I'm bringing all the colors. And I also have the eye of the tiger as well as the eye of all knowing. So info is in the house. Bay Row Real Estate is in the house. Yes, thank you so much. And I'm so excited about today's guest. So bring it.
Bring it. And here we are with our Lady Wisdom, Sherry Knight. Hey, Sherry.
Good afternoon. There's not much that I can say that hasn't already been said. So I am going to say welcome to our guest today and allow her to bless us and teach us along the way.
Yes.
Teach us and preach us. Come on, it's Sunday. Let me get my therapy. I got my book, I got my pen. I'm ready.
A lot of learning to do today. I have my pen as well, because this is about the mindset, right? This is our mindset coach. We've got just quickly Tiffany Bling. She just stepped out. She's going to be right back into the room. She's out there making sure all the internet, all the social media sites have us spread out there. So she'll be back in momentarily. But Tajah Williams, the mindset coach, all I'm going to say is, oh my God, I'm on my grind to achieve her. Let's go. Let's go.
Hi, everybody. So nice to meet you guys. I'm so happy to be here with you all. I am Tajah, the mindset coach. You said you got pens and paper. Look, I don't know what you're going to learn today, but I hope you get it. And I love to see you in that hoodie. It's looking, them colors looking right. They love
you. And that OMG is really cute. Is that your that's your clearly that's your brand? Is that?
Yes. So I also have merch that we do sell. So it's on the website. We'll talk more about that too. So because that was a very interesting journey as well. But we're here now. So yes, I do have merchandise.
So Tajah, let's talk about mindset. So let me just take it back, because how I met you was very interesting, because it did go start of the brand, and then I realized, oh my God, she's more than just the, you know, the brand and the
Right.
the sweatshirt. So probably about a month or so back, I hooked up with my husband's cousin. She was wearing this, and I said, oh my God, I need that, because I love Achieve Her. I was so enthralled by what she was wearing. She was praising, and I reached out to Tajah and I said, I need that sweatshirt. Where do I go? And then we ended up in a conversation, and here we are today. So thank you, because I'm blessed to actually be on this show with you today. Your energy, you are going to be teaching us today, because I learned a lot from you, and I was like, oh my God, I'm vibing with her. Let's talk about your brand, my dear. Achieve Her.
Oh my goodness. So yes, it was a very interesting story we had, right? It led to close to this day. And so I want to say thank you for contacting me, and then seeing how I could be represented here and help, you know, other women such as yourself and everybody else onto this mindset journey that we clearly all need to be on, right? We all need to elevate ourselves. And like I'll say is that I say the mindset coach because it's shorter, but my full target is the mindset coach for dreams deferred. Women, we are so phenomenal. We are so great, right? We are so powerful. And in that, a lot of times we put our dreams on the back burner because we're so busy trying to help everyone around us achieve their goals, whether we're being the perfect wife, the perfect mom, the perfect employee, the perfect entrepreneur, the perfect boss, right? The perfect student, that we have to sometimes feel like we have to half step with ourselves because we're dominating in every other lane. And I just want to be a part of your journey to tell you that you can dominate every lane, every single lane, but yours is the most important. Like, yes, I'm an awesome mom. I'm an awesome wife, right? I'm an awesome friend, but I'm Tajah first, period, right? I came in the world as Tajah first. So I have to take care of Tajah first. And that's not selfish. Actually, that's the best thing you could do for anyone around you. Because as women, we know that we make things better, right? You give us a house, we make it a home. You give us groceries, we make you a meal. So with that being said, when you apply those same principles to your life, you have to realize that when you're 100%, that means you can give everybody else around you 150, 120. You can go up and up. But when you have 75%, you're not giving them the best of you. You're not giving them the best. So we got to pour from full cups, full energy. And I'm here to help women on that journey to achieve her. So that's more of the brand. That's more who I am as a person, right? I am real life. I am you. That's another thing. I wanted this to be the journey where you are watching me as I'm growing too, right? I'm not up on a high pedestal to say, hey, you can do this too. I'm saying you can do it right along with me. We talked yesterday, me and Steph, like I just got my first grade back from my first class of my doctoral program. First class. I don't graduate until 2024, right? But every step is a part of the process on the journey. We never see the end goal first. You never see that first. It's in your head, right? I know I'm going to graduate, but I have to do all these steps and check marks till I do that. Mm-hmm. So you have to set your mindset, right? And you have to applaud those small wins. And yesterday for me was a small win, right? It's my first class. So that's all of what I want to say to women is that I am achieving it all. So can you, and let's do it together. Let's get this energy together. Let's build together. Let's grow together. So that's the brand.
Well, I want to say, first and foremost, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
First on that class. Oh my God. Again, you amaze me. You inspire me as well. And I think a lot of women are going to be inspired by you today, just by how your journey started and how you got to where you are. And I know, we've got entrepreneurs on the panel. The Sistahship is really about ensuring that women feel empowered and they do understand that they are worthy of greatness through their experiences and their challenges in life. And we're all here. We've experienced different things, and we're experiencing it together, and we're learning together, and we're growing together. Right. So that's why I feel your energy, because of the fact that that is what the sistership, you know, we endow as the sistership, and we are as the sistership. So kind of take us back to who Tajah was, because to get to where you are today, we need to know how Tajah started as a young girl and understanding how you kind of grew through saying, you know what, this is what I want to do. And I know you got more coming. So let's talk about how we kind of all started the journey.
Well, first, let me say I'm still a young girl. Y'all see this? First, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look. No, but in all seriousness, if I had to say how I became this and how I got here, you know, don't get me emotional. I got here from Nadira Muhammad. That is my mother. I had the best mom in the world. This is how you build mindset, right? You have to have people around you that are strong, who are loving, who nurture you, who make you believe that you can be anything in this world, that you can do anything, and everything is already yours, right? You just got to go claim it now. That's what you have to have. You have to circle that around either your spouse, your friends, your family, strangers, networking. So that's what I'll tell you started for me, my mother. There was nothing I could not do. I was the best, period. Like my mom said, and she made me believe that, but not in I'm better than you mode, right? It was that you aren't better than anybody and no one is better than you. And that's how I grew up. She pushed me to do everything. And because of that energy, I excelled in my life most times, whether it was academically, athletically as well. I came up and I played sports all my life. I was in the advanced classes for every level that they had. Usually it was math and English. So I did really well. And it's because of the mindset my mom gave me, the love I had. The drive came from that too. And every time I'm very competitive. And that's another thing I want to say too, really quickly. We have to learn as, not just as women, as individuals in this world, competition is healthy. It's necessary. You need to be comfortable with competing. That's what you watch these sports for. You watch the Oscars for, right? It's competing in a healthy sense. You want to be around the best. It's not the backbiting in competition. It's the greatness that it brings out of people. And that's what we all do. Like I watched you guys on this show and I'm like, I can't wait to be with them. I can't wait to be among this greatness. And that's what you have to have that in yourself. And that's what I try to help women in the mindset, right? You have to be comfortable being around people that you perceive to be stronger than you. They aren't necessarily. They might just know a little bit more in that space. I mean, you all know my cup of tea is not technology, right? But I don't think anybody's smarter than me because I can't click a mouse.
Then you have Glenn up here who can do the technology. So then that's where I play my role. And I
you see what I'm saying?
And that's why I always
we all have roles.
In our lane, and we do what we need to push each other forward. So that's what we pretty much do at the sistership. We all have strengths and we all stay in our lane. We do what we need to do and we cover each other in ways that we need to cover each other to make each other go. So like Tiff Rose, she'll say to me sometimes that there's times where I'm like, I can't do this no more. And she'll go, oh, no, be still. And we'll say still. That means just, you know, it's time for you to be still and figure out what you need to do in order to move forward, in order to achieve. So the sistership with us, you know, we all are entrepreneurs. We all have stuff going on, but there's times when we need each other. So we always have a point where, you know, we're always like, I don't need no girlfriends. I don't need anyone, because we've been taught to be apart and be separate because, you know, we all stab each other in the back or something like that. We don't. At the sistership, that's not what it's about. It's about pushing each other forward to achieve more. Our own businesses, yes, we're a sistership, but we all have stuff going on. Like I'm, you know, green smoothies. I'm all about health. I'm drinking water. So you always, Tajah said to me, you kill me with the drink water, but I've been saying that for like.
Brought it today. Brought it. Happy ready for you.
Sherry, Lady Wisdom, you know, sometimes I'll call Sherry up and Sherry's like, okay, no, whatever. Just hearing her mind, you know, what she has to say pushes us forward. Is Tiffany Rowe and Sapphire. That's what it is. That's what it's about. So when you said, hey, you know, I need to do something here, and we were like, Achiever, I was like, okay, yeah, this is what it's about.
Mm-hmm. First and foremost, I love the play on your brand. Achiever, obviously, Achieve Her, which is awesome. As listening to you though, and I'm hearing you share about your mom being such an inspiration, it was 2 points that I gravitated to. One, I wanted to know, was that as growing up in your household, were you raised by a single mother? Because the way that embrace was in the conversation. And the second piece, you were talking about the competition and healthy competition, and when did you get, or were you ever, maybe because of your mother, got to a balance of understanding that there is something called healthy competition? Because as women, we're almost always competing against each other, and it feels so almost negative to malice. So how did you get to a breakthrough that competition could be healthy, and how to utilize that for your benefit and also embracing everyone else?
So the first point is, yes, I was raised by a single mom. It was so great, my upbringing, that I didn't feel that I was missing anything. My dad and I are very close now. We have a great relationship, but as I was a child and growing up to this, yes, my mom, it was me and my mom. And I am the youngest of the children. So I'm 7 years behind the next, my sister. And so for a lot of my life, it was just me and my mom, right? Because everybody was so much older in a different, situation. So I got to be the baby, more of the one-on-one. And my mom, got to learn a lot and grow, right? Because that's what happens when you have a child that's years apart. You learn more. And so I was always busy, right? It was no more free time. So in that of being from classes to sports and activities and being around other groups of girls at that age, I got to see a lot. So from playing sports and being competitive academically. So first of all, I went to an all-Black Muslim school initially. When you are the same, right? Everything you do is the same. You're going to the same events. Your parents are all friends. It creates a space in you that's safe. So there wasn't, for me, it wasn't a lot of competition. And maybe sometimes I say that looking back unfairly, right? Because if I was always the top competitor in athletics and academics, I really didn't fall short of any friends or any other circumstances. And then my life totally transitioned when I moved to New Jersey and then was surrounded in an all-white atmosphere, in a very affluent atmosphere. In that atmosphere, I didn't have competition, right? Because nobody looked like me. But I'm now competing with them and I'm dominating in their spaces, right? Academically, I'm doing just as well with not being afforded the same opportunity as them. So when I guess just naturally, I realized that that's just what we do. We compete against what we look like, how much money we have, the clothes we wear, the hair we have. That just wasn't the world that I was used to. I always knew that Tajah is dope. Right. Tajah is smart. Tajah is going to be these things that Tajah wants to be. And that's with contribution from others or not, because I had set my mindset that way because my mom had conditioned me that way. So when I look at other groups of women, I just try to focus on the positive. Like, let's work together. Let's just link up. We're doing great things. You're doing a great thing, even if you're in my space. And that's another thing. Like, I don't see why, if you're in my space, we shouldn't work together. That's why we should just talk to each other, help each other. But some people have this thing where I can't let you get better than me type of thing.
Right.
I don't really worry about that. But that's why I say, I think it's just about, Tiff, like you said, and asking that question, I think it's about mindset. I think it has a lot to do with how you were raised, your true purpose. My true purpose is to make myself better while I make other people better. I don't care who. There is no need for me to worry about if you get better than me, because what does that even mean, honestly, right? We don't all want the same things out of life. We don't all define what success is the same way. So there's no need for that kind of competition. So I kind of just pulled myself away from that. I like healthy competition. I like seeing the best in someone. I like people who bring out the best in me. I love when people challenge my ideas and my thoughts, right? Because it makes me think, oh man, I didn't think that way. You know what, you're right. Let me go see, or let me try that. That's where we need to get.
Tajah, I love that you said that, because I like healthy competition, but not other competition where you're trying to down each other.
Right.
Okay. So if I can't bring you up, that's not the competition that I'm looking for, but I'm looking for the competition that's going to challenge me on something that I'm doing, or tell me, no, maybe you can do it this way, or we can do it that way. So I always say I don't like competition, but not that I don't like it. It's just how a person plays that competition.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I say this? I hear y'all keep saying the word competition.
Mm-hmm.
Competition is almost as if you're testing someone sometimes, because it's a test. It's to see who could get the farthest, the quickest, or in that. So let me say this. There's a healthy competition, but then there's also a way of motivating or empowering or uplifting and enlightening. So we have to use those words to help the mindset, because you have people, Tiff, you know this better than anybody, that is pressured by the word test. The minute you know that you're being tested, you can buckle down, right? So when you say competition, the first thing comes to mind is I'm being tested.
Yep.
So what you want to know is you're helping other people achieve their goals because there's something about you that is motivating them. They see your drive and your determination. That's what the Sistahship is. I have for years, do the business that I do for years, wanted to do it on my own. But this is the first time since I've been a part of the Sistahship that I feel like I'm making it.
Wow.
And that's technically what Achieve Her has, from what I understand, you have been, what you're saying is what you're doing is you're changing the mindset, right? So your circle can mean the world to you. It could be used, your circle could be your tool or your weapon.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that competition does, it brings out either the best in you or the worst in you.
That's right.
So we have to be mindful of the word competition for
Amen.
those that are listening and are fearful of competition. So I always tell people that I know that my core group, I have to know who's in my core group, because everybody that's with me is not for me.
Not for you.
Right? So since I've been a part of the Sistahship, I am closer to achieving my goals and what I have aimed for in a very long time. So I say that to say it's the motivation and the drive that I see these other women have. And now I met you, your drive, your energy. Like you said, you come from your background is strength. It's strong, it's healthy. But everybody doesn't come from that.
Right.
So fortunately, as I've grown, I've learned that I don't have to borrow your motivation. I don't have to borrow your drive. I can just get on the road with you and try to achieve what it is that I'm looking for. But because you are all doing that around me, that's my circle, right? One thing I didn't feel like I had for many years is a support system, right? So that makes a difference. In order for you to have started even your network, Achieve Her, you must have had a strong support system, because each of you women that have your businesses already up and running, Bayo Realty, Miss Bling Star up here, you got, I don't know how many businesses Tiff has right now going on. Achieve Her.
The Jamaican man, you know what? 3 or 4 jobs. If you have less than 3 jobs, you're lazy. You're lazy if you don't have 5 or 6 jobs.
And just saying that and seeing that, I want the silent audience to know we hear you, we see you, that you might not have had that support, but look to one of these networks that you're listening to and hearing about. Achiever is going to deal with your mind. The sistership's going to talk about this and that and get to them areas that is going to touch that heart deep down inside. But we see you and we hear you. So I just want you guys to be mindful when we talk about competition. That word competition could, for a lot, I mean, for me, I speak for me. That competition, that word competition.
It's a hard word.
With who I was yesterday. Forget you. I need to compete with me. I need to be a better me today than I was yesterday.
Yes. And see, that's the mindset. And that's why I'm so happy that you did break that down. And I'll just elaborate a little more for that is, just like you said, all these women here and all the beautiful ones in the audience, right, that are listening in and chiming in if they're asking questions that we'll get to, is this is competition. We are not necessarily competing with each other, right? But we're competing in whatever lanes we're in. This is healthy because this is a space for us to all talk about those lanes, right? Talk about what we do and how we can share with other people who may want to even start on their own journeys, right? That's what we're hoping you do. So this is what I mean, right? Let's think about in a different term. I told you I came from the athletic world. All right, LeBron James, right? Why do kids, Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, why do children want to be that when
Serena
they are young?
Williams.
There you go, Serena. Let me go. Okay, let me get Serena and Venus. Young girl, I don't know her name. The young one, she's even younger.
Gabby. The other little girl I know you're talking about.
Okay, why do we want to be her, right? Because she's competing at a high level, because she looks possible, because she's strong, she's showing power. Even if you don't necessarily feel that in the moment, right? Like you said, everyone doesn't come from what I expressed, but you want that. That's what you want. You want to compete. You might not even want to play tennis, but you want what she shows and what she represents. That's the part of competition that I'm talking about, right? We have to shift that mindset of not the negative competition, not being tested. No, you're coming to show everything that you represent. That's it. So you are coming to state what you really are. So when I show up to things like this or any other thing where I feel like it's in a competition, even when it's sports, right? Sometimes against one of my best friends, we were in the same space. Angel, if you listen, hey, I love you to death. We competed on the same level, right? And to this day, I can never admit that she was better than me. I know she knows, right? But what I'm saying is, we loved each other and she went on to really excel and is still dominating. And we love each other, right? Because that's motivation. That's the part of the competition you want in your life and you want around you, like you said. So sometimes when it doesn't come from family or it doesn't come from spouse, it's the best part about friends, because those are the family members you choose. Yeah. So what I would say is, and the best part about them is that when they don't cooperate, you could delete them and never worry about them again, because they're not a sister, they're not a brother, they're not a mom, they're not a husband or a wife. You understand? So you have to continuously focus on people that are elevating you and growing you. And then you got to reach for those that are a little beyond your level so you keep moving forward, because that's what life is. So my Achieve Her brand is not like once I graduate and become like Dr. Tajah Williams, right? That's not done. I'm not done, because Achieve Her is a journey. I'm forever moving forward. I'm forever growing people. And the younger I catch them, the older I catch them, the more they teach me too, right? I'm never going to know everything. And that's why I am a part of the Sistahship now, because I love each and every one of you. And I don't even know you all personally yet, but just your energy of me hearing you talk and the things you talk about, because this is the lane of women I see myself in. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about these things. Everything isn't the bad and bougie type situation, right? I'm grown.
That's right.
I want to be grown. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. That's just not for me.
I hope not. Because I'm bad and bougie.
Look, okay, look.
Well, I might not be too bad. I'm definitely bougie. But that being said,
know what's happening. Mm-hmm.
What I heard another piece you had talked about, and I had heard Iyanla. I'm a huge fan of Iyanla. I was blessed to have been in her presence many a time in my younger years, and my husband toured with her. So it was just a very beautiful ongoing relationship. And one of the things she had shared, which you had said earlier about that percentile, and definitely I hear the sports womanship in you. I'm not a sports person. So for me, the only sport I love is boxing because I'm
Okay.
all right. And so
you
I
got Layla Ali, then you should do a Layla.
That's my girl, you know. So when that kind of competition, I got to win if I'm fighting. But I'm just gonna put it out there. But Yana used to say that the cup being full, okay, and that statement of my cup overfloweth, I think, and that's actually in a lot of quotes, and we talked about that before. And whatever falls out of the cup is what I'm willing to give.
That's
However,
right.
my cup needs to be full. Whatever comes out of that is what I have to give. If I give what's in my cup, I'm going to die. I got to replenish. I was sharing with a sister this week, and I've shared this story a few times. However, prior to being a real estate broker, I was a celebrity hairstylist, and I did hair for a few decades prior to going into a secondary career. And I used to fly all over the world, and I used to do things. The first time I got on the plane with my then baby daughter, she was about almost 2, and I was going to a shoot, and they allowed me to bring the baby, and I had a nanny going to be there when I landed, all this beautiful thing. And it was the first time I actually heard the flight attendant, at the time they used to call them stewardess. Now you can't do that, it's flight attendant, say, if the oxygen mask falls, put it on your face first, and then the children. Now, I've flown 1,000 times. I never heard them ever say that before a day in my life. I'm sure it's the routine in the script, and they've always said it. But that particular day, because I had the goober with me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Put the thing on my face first.
Right.
I got my baby. I got to take care of my baby. Right. And it was an epiphany of life that was like, this is the one thing, like, again, something I heard 1,000 times, how it impacted me. And it's been part of my mantra and my movement since that day about taking care of yourself. First. And again, not to sound repetitive, but we have so many, as a woman, we're the matriarchs, we're the givers, we're the nurturers. We lose our breasts because we give so much food to these children. Me, for 2 years, both kids, these things is doing crazy things now. We give so much of ourselves. Yeah. What happened in your past? I know mom was awesome, dope. She did everything. You had a grand spiritual foundation, but living in the flesh of this world where everything is always saying, woman, you are less than, woman, you are this, you got to do this, you got to let us walk on you, you got to let us be the welcome mat, what happened in your journey that said, I'm staying on my throne? What happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So Tajah, before you answer that really quickly, because the chat room is, full.
Oh, Lord.
You have, your followers. You have Travis Williams. Do you know Travis Williams?
Yeah, that's my cousin. What's up, Trav?
Room. And I actually want to say, because he was saying educating men on these challenges so that they may stay in solidarity with you. Great discussion. So I wanted to say to him that we also have the brothership coming. And I don't know if he's heard the song or not, but we've been playing the song out there. We're working on that, where we have a group of men who will be doing a segment once a month with the Sistahship. And it's going to be totally the brothers take over the Sistahship kind of thing. And they're going to go from the brothership perspective, because we can't teach them, or we can't tell men how to be men, but they're going to tell that we're going to join forces together to show that we can work together. Okay, so then you also have, there's so many people in the room. We have Lady K in the room, who is also part of us. We have Mama C in the chat.
Mama C.
We have Trish, who's a part of us. She's in the chat room, so your chat room is really full. I don't see a lot of questions, but a lot of encouragement and a lot of discussion, and people just, saying, that they're proud of you. So now you can just continue on and tell us this question.
With that said, let's make sure for people out in the chat, I should have said this earlier, please make sure if you have any questions, comments, go ahead and drop them in. We'll stop in between segments to make sure that we bring in those questions and comments. So please make sure that you're commenting so that we know how you're feeling about the segment, any questions you have, anything for Tajah specifically, would love that. So again, please make sure you're opening yourself up on the chat. Tajah, go ahead.
So before I even answer that, Tim, I'm going to go back to even you saying that, because it's so funny you talked about being a mom, right, and how babies take, because I was going to literally elaborate on that when you talked about the airplane situation, right? So think about back when, you were first pregnant, or all the women that are listening, or those that don't know, I'll tell you now. Your doctor's going to tell you about eating better, right? Staying fit, moving around, being focused, and just connecting with yourself, right? Especially if you are planning to nurse your baby. Why is that? And let me tell you why, and what Tip was referring to. Because the baby is going to take what they need. Listen to me again. The baby is going to take what they need. That's not depending on if you eat what you need to, do what you need to. They are going to take what they need. So again, with that cup being full, that's what that's talking about. Because if it's not full, you're going to deplete, meaning you can't give the best part of you to anybody. But the baby, just like people in your life, right, that are takers, they're going to take what they need. They don't care about what you have left. The baby doesn't, right? Because every time they're going to get what they need. So you have to do your part. You have to shift your mindset. And as women, it's so hard for us not to be selfish, right? But we have to realize it's not selfish. Okay, self-care is necessary. It's mandatory for your sustainability. You have to put yourself first. You came in here by yourself. You know what I mean? So you got to focus on you, and then you can help everybody else. And I'm not saying that selfishly, right? I don't need to become Dr. Muhammad to make an impact on people now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I need to continuously achieve and set high standards for myself so that I can help other people. I can give them platforms. I can give them comfortability, right? I can relate. That means I have to learn. I have to pour into myself to give to others. Okay, so that's what I'll say. So it's funny that you even brought that up. But what necessarily changed in me? I guess
you went through a challenging time, didn't you? Because
yes.
I feel like when we talked, there was a period where things kind of collapsed and things happened in your life that, again, this is how this kind of came about.
Yes. So that's what I was gonna say, talk about that a little bit too.
Tajah, I'm sorry, you have Nisha Muhammad in the room, and she says, speak of the overcoming the struggles growing up and adapting. So maybe she knows more about it and she wants you to bring that out. So come on,
girl. Who was
it? Nisha Muhammad?
Let's see in my mind. Okay.
Hey, Mom.
So yes, I was gonna get to it if someone asked. Look, I'm not about hiding anything. I'm very transparent. So when I was about, I want to say 15. Yes. So I'll tell you just coming up. Okay. So of course I told you about going to the Muslim school and really excelling academically and athletically majority of my life. My dad lived in New Jersey. We were living in Atlanta. I would fly up every summer to go visit my dad and my family. So that summer that this happened, there was no difference to me. Well, then my mom called and said I wasn't coming back. I was going to start school with my aunt. It was shocking, right? Because think about having this life and I didn't get to tell any friends bye. I didn't say bye at all. I thought I was coming back in here for the summer, and that's just not what happened. So that changed. Then when my mom came up and now we're living in New Jersey, remember I was already there with my aunt, and we moved then to a very affluent white neighborhood, and I went to school there. Now this is a very dramatic change. This is, my Muslim school was all Black Muslim. This is all white, very wealthy, different, okay? But like I said, the upbringing I had, I didn't feel pressure. I didn't feel inadequate. I didn't feel any of that, right? I dressed like me. I talked like me. I was me. And I showed up and I had so many, it's so funny how now I can look back at those times and see how they treated me in ways, like not everyone, but majority, right? I remember being very awakened with their, what is vice principal or whoever is supposed to be welcoming to you, saw my grades from my previous school, because you're getting ready to go in this new school and he's trying to assess your classes. And she's seeing my straight A's and she's telling me and my mother how to be prepared to not receive these same grades here, because this is a higher caliber of a school. And, you know, me and my mom were so close. We're like this. I just looked at her and laughed like, okay, now she gonna make me go harder, right? Because she's telling me what I can't do. That's something you don't tell me. So, okay. So then, you know, I get in the classes and I'm realizing that I've already taken this math and I've already taken this English, but they didn't want to put me in honors and accelerant for them. The teacher even told me how I couldn't have done that. So then she said, well, I'll give you a test. Sure. Look, here's your word, Sherry, right? Test. Let's go. Because I'm going to prove to you that I am who I say I am. So 50 question test, I got 49 right. She's like, oh yeah, you should be in this. But I told you that. That wasn't good enough. So I had to perform. I had to compete for this, right? So I did, and then I moved on. About a year into a situation, I go and visit my family for my birthday. My mom brings me back and tells me how the living situation had changed with her and the person she was in at that time. And so that we were staying in this women's shelter. So it was a homeless shelter. Now, it wasn't like, you know, sometimes they make it on TV where, you know, there's a little cot and it's dirty and it's dark and it's gloomy, but I don't care. It was a shelter, right? I had lived in good homes and good areas my whole life. So it was very different to be in a room now with my mom, with, what do you call that? Like, you ever know about dormitory showers where it's like, you know, a shower in the hallway and everyone kind of uses that? It was something similar to that. And imagine this on top of going to school with these affluent kids, right? So it's a very mind game playing. However, like I said, I had a very good conversation with my mom and I was very much, you know, supported. But at that time, my mom was a little bit down, right? She was hurt, thinking like how she let this happen in the situation. So in those moments, I couldn't be the child. I had to grow up, in a sense, for my mom to make sure that she didn't cry, that she didn't break down, right? So I remember that happened and I told her, like, long as you good, I'm good. Or we're together, I'm good. So, you know, I made sure she was okay that night. The next day, I remember at school, I went to the library. You know how library have the sections for the books. I went in one way in the back. I think I cried for like half a second, wipe my tears and say, you know what? You gonna cry when you get to where you're supposed to go. That's it, because you don't have time for it, right? And Tiff, I promise you, that's how my mind works, because I didn't have time then. I didn't have time to be sad, and I damn sure didn't have time to let these kids see me like that. So then what I did was I made sure, because for me, my family didn't come from wealth and power and resources that I was around. So what I knew I had in me was education, and I had talent athletically. So I made sure that I excelled, because that was my ticket out. That was my way to make sure that this didn't happen to me and no longer happen to my mom. So it was that kind of switch. It was just, it needed to happen. And that's the kind of coach I am. I am the mindset shift of no matter what, because you will have things thrown at you that you cannot control, but you are in control of your response and your reactions. And you have to be 100% of the time. And it's hard. So in those moments now, did I really probably want to cry longer, or maybe, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Because I'm better now from the reaction that I had. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. When you just create that mindset for yourself and you just go on that, because sometimes you're, like Sherry said, sometimes you're not going to have support. I saw a quote the other day that said, you're not going to have support all the time. Sometimes it's just going to be you. And when I saw that, I immediately shared it. And I said, and I just need people to know that that's enough. You are enough for yourself. And then maybe you're going to gravitate to look at the energy I have now with you all, right? I didn't know you all a month ago, but now I do. But this was all on myself. And not to say I don't have support from all the people you see in the chat. Clearly I do, right? But it had to start with me first. I had to start the mindset. I had to start the vision for Tajah and what I wanted. And I just wanted to win no matter what. And then that's where I get it from. Just no matter what, I didn't want to fall in, like you mentioned, the stereotypes, us being, Black women, dark-skinned women, me, not having my dad in my life, all the things that they say when you can't, you'll never achieve this because you didn't come from a 2-parent household or your parents didn't go to college. And I'm sitting here like, look at me. That's what I want women to do, because forget that. I don't care if you're a single mom. I don't care if you have 10 children. I don't care if you're making less than you think you should make. Any of that. You can have and do whatever is in those dreams, because the dreams are proof. Now you just got to go and do actions, and you got to do them in small steps. You know what I mean?
Let me send you an ear hug, my sister.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Let me send you an ear hug, because as strong as you are, and I say as you are, it was something that hurt you.
Yeah.
And I heard the hurt.
Yeah.
While you was explaining and sharing with us.
It showed up.
Me cry now.
You have touched. You have reached out. You have extended a hand to someone that said, I can't listen to her. She's too perfect. Nothing has ever happened to her. I can't relate. Because when you first started speaking, you said that you had a good childhood and so on. Mom came out there. Mom said, somebody that need to know that you've been through something so they can hear you. Because there's a difference between listening and hearing.
Right.
So somebody heard you, but I wanted to give you an air hug, my sister, because I heard that hurt. Because that was your platform that catapulted you to where you are now. I can see a light is glowing off of you right now. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't know how to explain it, but I want you to know you were somebody's angel today.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, you were. I know Sophia got stuff to say because I see it when it explodes. So just shut me up if you need to.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all can't say too much because my eyelash is gonna fall off.
No.
I'm blinking heavy to keep it together over here.
I heard some disciplines, and I wanted to get an understanding because there is this foundation work that took place. Because when you were sharing what took place as a youth, and myself, my religion is love. However, I was in Muslim school and camp for 2 years, 2 summers as well. And I heard some disciplines, and one, of course, Brother Malcolm, by all means necessary. So you were kind of sharing how you, no matter what, you kept saying, no matter what. And I'm thinking, by all means necessary. I'm also thinking of some of the things you said, I don't have time. And I know that, again, with discipline and praying 5 times a day, was that part of that strength that said, okay, I'm gonna walk into this environment. It is so different than what I've been grown up to be. But however, I have been disciplined to know to do this, and that control, because and you said I had to control my actions. So would you align that with your spirituality, your spiritual teachings as well, as far as and also with Mom?
At that time in my life, no. This is a reflection I can give you now, right? Okay. Being an adult and an older Tajah, to see what was happening that I didn't know was happening. You know what I mean? I am spiritually connected now in the last 3 years of my life, and taking my Shahada and confirming myself. Ooh. What I would say is the discipline that I got from sports. That's why I would encourage anybody, no matter what you think your child is or isn't, to put them in that environment, because it provides discipline. Because I didn't care, or coaches didn't care, if you were tired, if you didn't eat right. You got to practice. You got to practice because we got a game no matter what. And we got to show up no matter what. And we, when I said compete at a high level, our teams were undefeated for 3 years in a row. Like, we were great. To be all Black and girls playing soccer and Muslim. I mean, we were killing kids. it was just a great thing for us, and we're building this friendship and this unity together. And that just transformed into me even into high school. So at the end of the day, it was the discipline, that it was a no matter what situation for me. And then in my life, I just knew I wanted more. And when you're around affluent people, not rich, not doing good, affluent, you see how they live their lives. I was in their homes. I was around them. Some of us are still friends today. I wanted that. I knew I deserved that. I saw what it was, because you realize like they have jobs that you never even heard of. Like, how's your dad the president of a company? So again, this is why I say putting yourself around different kinds of people doing different things, because then you learn things and you see it. And it doesn't always have to be what you see on TV. It could be real life. And in my real life, I have friends that have great professions and great backgrounds. And I want to be one of those people. So I needed to do the things they did, and I needed to perform. And for me, playing sports, right, there's no emotion in that. And as a woman playing sports, it's even worse, right? They don't care about menstrual cramps and mood swings and broken nails. Nah, you better come out here and show up. I don't care what you're doing or what happened, or so-and-so broke up and you crying. Well, you better use all that frustration and play this game, right? That's sports. That's what you have. So for me, it was that. But today, I can definitely tell you, as a firm believer and one full of faith and strength, even more now, because now I have, God with me. I have a whole religion with me. I can say what that was. It was just discipline. You have to have it. You have to have it.
Tasha, I can relate to the part where you said discipline, because it's all about the discipline. Now, I'm not a big sports person, and I didn't play sports, but it was how I was raised on the discipline and the movement of working. I've been working since I was 14 years old. I was around a lot of influential people, and I was around people who weren't influential or but I had that background, and I had, I can go from hood to the boardroom and nobody and know when to separate it. But you got to know when to separate you got to know when to separate being hood, being corporate, being whatever you're doing. You got to know the discipline. And when I'm doing smoothies and we have the group where I say drink water and our health matters, it's all about the discipline. Can you lose the weight? Absolutely. But it's the discipline that gets you there. It's not what you do, is how long will you continue to do it so that you can get where you need to go. So for me, it was when COVID-19 hit, and I told Tiff Rowe this story. When COVID-19 hit, that's when I went kind of tearing up when I heard you talk, because I went through September 11th, where I was managing hotels, Grand Hyatt Hotel, Sheraton, we can go on, okay? And I was over people that I managed, and I had to release them from the Grand Hyatt Hotel when 9/11 happened. Then there was a severance package, and, I lost my job then, and then I got hit then, and for 4 years I was looking for work, and then all of a sudden COVID hit, right? So COVID hit, and I'm like, are we shutting down again? I can't do this again. This is just, I can't do this. If I'm really going to go through this whole segment of looking for a job, of doing, I can't do this again. So when we locked up the office, because I manage a dental office up here in Stroudsburg, when we locked up the office, I stepped off of the stair and I said, I can't do it. And something just hit me. And then the sistership came up. We've gone through some challenges, because we were actually the ladies' room, meet me in the ladies' room before we were the sistership, and how we've grown. And if you followed our journey, how things have progressed. So it's just about the discipline. I had to actually take the sistership and turn it around in 3 weeks to make it the sistership. But it's just the discipline of what you're gonna do and your willpower to want to do it, because you get to a point where you're like, no more, something's got to give. And then it's the people that are around you that are helping you. So I had, Lady Wisdom or Tiffany Rowe and Stephia was there, who were like, you know, Stephia, she recently joined us a couple of months ago, and she's been like a powerhouse. But there was those little moments where we were doing a Christmas show, and we were giving presents to the kids, and she would inbox me, and I'm like, and she was trying to figure out why I wouldn't put out on Facebook that we needed help. But I said, because I don't want people to I don't want it to seem like we're asking for donations, because if it comes from your spirit, if your spirit is moving you to help a child, you're going to do it automatically without somebody asking you for money. So we had a lot of people who reached out to us, and they sent us money, and they would have, yes, we want to do this, and we ended up giving out, I think, 44 gifts because of people who were just like, you know what, I see what you're doing, let's go. You know,
that goes to the mindset, right? I mean, again, those who are, and I want to go back to kind of Tiffany, to your point. I mean, the thing is your tribe, right? Who's your tribe? Who's within your tribe that's going to help you elevate? Who is there to help you from a mindset perspective, to change your mindset? Because you had to figure out during COVID, and a lot of people went through that. And Taj, I want to talk about that as well, because I'm assuming, as we start thinking of what happened to everybody over the course of the last year and a half, it had to change people's mindset of how they're going to progress in life. Yep. Now, my assumption is with this, with Achieve Her, a lot of, women started getting into entrepreneurship and saying, you know what, I can't depend on somebody else making sure I got a job, because tomorrow they could release me, whether it be COVID, whether it be, productivity targets and all this stuff, and people more with less, what I'm saying, like do more with less. So, to your point, Tiff, that's really kind of going back to, again, how did you, over the course of the last year, Taj, and what I'd like to know first is, how did you guys get out of the, again, the challenge that you guys went through, you, your mother, your family, to kind of move to the next phase and then get into kind of getting in a better place, right? Because I mean, you got family now, you got children in the mix, all this stuff. And I have to say, bless your mom, your
She's
family,
in the chat room,
for getting through this, because let me tell you something, tears, right? You hit so many people just by your story, because back to Sherry's point, there were challenges there that it wasn't just about the journey as a child, where things were going well. You also hit a roadblock, a distraction, something that challenged you to say, we have to overcome. And how do we overcome this? How did you guys overcome? Because I think it's important for the audience to understand that we all go through roadblocks. We all go through challenges. We have distractions in our life that's going to stop us from progressing forward. How do we manage through that to get us to the next level, to get us out of that? And that has obviously mindset, as well. So talk through that.
So Sherry, first I'll say thank you for my air hug. I needed it. Now my eyes are dry. I'm back normal. I mean, anytime I talk about my mom, it's like that, like we, like this. So, okay. And I'll go back to Sherry's point too, is I talked about having a good childhood, because I did. I wouldn't change anything about my life. Nothing, not one thing. I'll tell you about the one thing I regretted later, but, still wouldn't change anything, because saying that you have a good life, a great life, a great husband, a great wife, great children, does not mean you don't have disappointments and dilemmas, right? And setbacks. Yes, and most times that's what builds you. That's what gives you the character. So I'm thankful kind of that happened, because it made me really see, or test me, provide that competition again, right? To see if you really going to do what you say you're going to do, or do you need everything picture perfect and fancy color roses to make it. Right. I'm one of those people who doesn't necessarily believe, or doesn't necessarily want to, I should say, go through challenges late in life. I'd rather go through my shit, as we call it, early. The earlier, the better, so I can adjust. and learn myself and grow and see how I perform in disappointment and sacrifice. Because when you learn late in life, when you have children and you have real bills and stuff like that, you will break down if you're just now realizing the world's not what you thought it was.
Yes.
Friends aren't just as who you thought they were, or your family isn't just what you thought they were. Let me know now. And I learned a lot of things at 14 that made me who I am today. So when I say I depend on myself and I focus on me first, I mean that. And I mean that from what I've been through. And it's not that I don't love and care about everybody. I truly do. But now I know I'm okay without a lot of things that I thought were necessary. And that makes me a better person. It makes me function better. Maybe that doesn't work for everyone, but that's why you have to focus your mindset and figure out what works for you. For me, when you asked about how do we catapult out of that? Well, in that kind of system, so people who don't know or are going through something and want to think about homeless shelters, they're not bad avenues, especially if you need that and you're really struggling, because they set up processes for you to get back on your feet. And that's what this was. So from the shelter, they provide groups for you to be in. So it's financial, it's mindset, it is wellness and wholeness, to help you talk about the things that got you there and to bring you through them. Financially, it helped my mom save money because you don't pay them rent. But they do tell you an amount to pay and they help you save it. So by the end of our time, which it might have been 2 years or a year, and then we went into a transitional period. So now they move you to an apartment that you don't pay for, and it's a nice area again. So you have your own space. So now we're in the shelter, you're in a transitional home. And this is our own apartment. So it's like a regular apartment, except that you can't have visitors and things like that. So it was a very challenging time when you think of it, because I'm 16 now, right? As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this funny story. I had a sweet 16 in this area, and their sweet 16s are like the ones you see on TV. Okay, huge. And again, I was one of the only Black kids, and I was very much still this. So I had lots of friends, and everybody came, even older class people who I didn't even talk to. They wanted to come to the party, right? Because they just want to be in the mix. I'm fine with that. We have a party. Gifts are always cash. I had made more money that night, I think, than my mom made in a month, right? We laughed about it. And you know when I laughed the hardest? When we were on the way home, because I said, man, I got all this money and we going back to a shelter, right? Because I'm just that kind of person. I'm like, let's make fun of it because we're good. We're not broken. This is just a setback. This is just a situation. That's how I live my life. Anything unpleasant that I'm going through is a situation. It's a temporary situation because I'm already seeing ahead of that, right? I'm already
living in your abundance. Living in your abundance.
Yes. You see what I mean? You have to set your mindset that way. I don't care what you're going through. People who have children, delivery is hell, right? You'll be in there like they trying to kill me. But you know you're going to get this beautiful baby at the end, and you pray to God that she's or he is healthy, and that's your end result. That's all you're trying to get to is that end result. And that's what I'll say. So, we laughed about that. And then, so you couldn't have visitors. So I could never have my friends over. People want to come to my house. I can't have any of that kind of situation. We have a curfew, so we can't even stay out late. So it was a lot of things, but I didn't look at none of that. I didn't care because I knew what we were trying to do, and my mom did it. So when she saved the money, we were able to then get our own, we were able to rent our own house. So now we were no longer attached to this, but I had so many blessings and resources from them because they felt like, I excelled in their programs. They were very happy with the kind of kid I was. And so when it was time for me to go to college, my mom still didn't have a lot of money, right? Clearly. So I had a lot of donations. I had a lot of people help me pay for school. I had people donate laptops. I think I got a car donated at one time. I've had a lot of help, and that's why I say that's a system, that's a support system. And that's why I say I've had a great life. I cannot complain, sure. Do I like everything that happened? No, but it was necessary. I'll tell you that because I firmly believe that he doesn't make any mistakes, none. So what you're looking at is you have to know about temporary setbacks, and they only temporary if you change your mindset, because you can stay there. You can stay, right? I'm not here to convince people. I'm not a magician. You have to believe as much as I believe. And when you do that, then I can help you transform what you're trying to do, because you have everything you need in you. Everything. I don't care what somebody's saying to you or even what you're saying to yourself. You have every single thing you need in you already, period. We just got to pull it out. That's it. We just got to pull it out so you can achieve her and or whatever that means for you. And for me, it's everything. I want everything. I want everything. And that's why I work so hard to push for everything, whether it be school, whether it's this business. And like you talked about the pandemic, I was never a person to think about having my own business ever. But I knew how I talked about my job. And you know, just the fact of time's sake, I didn't have a bad job at all. Made great money too. It was just, I got tired of them needing me for 40 hours. I had even told my manager at one point, like, I could so do this work if you guys would let me come when I feel like coming. I would be a better employee if I could come when I want to come. I don't want to be here 9 to 6. I don't like to wake up early for this. I don't want to do it. And we will always, I said, Taj, you know what I admire about you the most? This is my manager talking to me, because as you can see, I really talk to people, everyone like this. You know, you always are moving and shifting in here. You always trying to ask questions and, you know, challenging what you can and making your way. And I literally did. Up until recently, January 15th, I told them, you know what, I can't do it no more. I'm going to work for you Saturday and Sunday, PRN, when I feel like it. And I did it. Am I sitting on a platform on $1 million to say I'm comfortable? No, absolutely not. But you know what? My mind has already said you are going to win, because I live that life. I push hard, I connect with people, and I do what's necessary for me and my family, you know, and I have every belief in me that it will get there. I'm not there yet. And that's where I live my life yet, you know? So
in the chat room, we have Jane. She says, Taji, please share with the listeners, when did this reality first strike you? Is it taught or is it born in you? And then you have Lady K, who's with us. She says, yes, your setbacks build your strength. I'm a firm believer. Sometimes you have to go through something to get to the next level. And that's true.
Absolutely. The first question she wanted to know, what was it?
The first question, she said, when did this first strike you? Or is it something that's taught, or is it something that you're born with? So I'm not sure.
As far as what the mindset?
Yeah.
So the first part, I think she's talking about the business, maybe achiever, is she talking about? So that's a funny story. So me and my friends, we have a group chat where we text and talk all the time. And around the pandemic, you know, they live, well, one of them is a PRN, so the kind of position I have now where, you know, you work at will. And the other one is pretty much, she works independently. So she does all her own things. And I was the only one to me having a 40-hour shift. And we talk all the time, motivating each other, just a great group, just like this. And she said one day on the phone, this was back probably early October, and she goes, why don't you just become a life coach, Taj? She was like, you always in here helping us change our lives and impact us. And she's like, even when you tell me about strangers, I just don't understand why won't you become a life coach? In my word, I was like, what? What's a life coach? Because I knew about motivational speaking, right? And I know the two were really linked. So I looked it up, I looked into it, and I said, I'll think about it. And first thing I do is always start playing with names. So you'll notice that I play with names. So I'm like, what could I call it? So I'm playing with words, and I came up, achiever. I sent it to my husband who does logos, and he came up with this. In 20 minutes, we had a logo, right? Color everything down. So now for me, it's vision. So I start writing up things about content, right? Like, what would my mission statement be? What would be my purpose? What was this? I'm not the technology person, but I did that website on my own. Check it out.
Right.
Okay. So in that, right, I make the joke of it, but seriousness, like, look what believing in myself made me do, right? I did a whole website. I started designing shirts, right? I wind up connecting with somebody who does designs, who's great. My designer is amazing. The hoodie, you know, Steph Fire has on right now, the shirt Tiffany has on. These were ideas back in October. Do you see what I mean? Like, this is real now. When I just looked, before we talked, I looked at when my business became official. It was November 13th. She told me in October. I went head in with that whole idea. And when it came to fruition, I'll tell you this, and I don't know if he's watching, one of my friends from work, we were talking again about the job, right? And I'm telling him about my frustrations. And I promise you guys on everything, I had never mentioned this business, the name, nothing. But this is how I tell you how God will speak into your life. And when you believe in yourself and in him too, he looked at me. He said, you just need to become a life coach. I'd sign up for it. I had never talked to him about anything I was doing. And it gave me chills when he said that, because that's when I knew that it was real. It was a real thing, because I do talk to him about his life. I do talk to other people at work about their life, right? And that's just me being who I am. I know you highlighted on my promo about my quote I always say, if you could be anything in life, be a blessing. Because I had so many blessings. My first one was my mother, right? I could have been born by anybody. I wasn't. I needed my mom to birth me, to give me everything I have. And then to have that in me makes me be that for anybody else, right? Everything doesn't have to be attached to money or something that I'm going to gain. Just bless somebody else. And I think because I do that so genuinely, things come back to me tenfold. You know, and if we focus more on being blessings to each other instead of worrying about when you're going to get your next blessing, we have more in life as a culture, as women, as a race, as people, you know. So that's what I hope sums it up for, you know, the question asked is how the business came to be. And then the mindset, I can't say you aren't born with it. Some people aren't. I think personality has a lot to do with a lot of things. And then I also think surroundings do too. So your upbringing, sure, plays a big role in who you are, but then your outlook on life ultimately determines who you will be. Okay. And sometimes our upbringing isn't great. Even your current situation might not be great, but see your outlook, your mindset, that's when you have to shift it to make it to what you want it to be.
I want to really quickly, you guys watch The Voice?
Yeah. Yes.
With Jennifer, I'm throwing the shoe. I'm throwing the shoe. That shoe. I'm throwing the shoe.
Thank you. I love that shoe too.
Phenomenal. She throws a shoe and someone sings good. That's right. That's definitely a Southern thing, I know. But I'm throwing a shoe at you, Achiever.
Oh, I thank you.
Powerful stuff right there.
Thank you.
You know, I'm starting to think when we were talking about this mindset coach scenario. I know
too much, right?
That shoe, I just keep seeing the shoe.
That's it.
Think of all the colors.
Hey, look, let me send you my address now, because I'm gonna need that shoe. What size is it?
She got all the spring colors on there too, so that was a perfect shoe. And if that's what she got on, there you go. There you go.
Let me go with them earrings we've been trying to get, Sapphire.
Oh, don't even start with me about the earrings.
I'm gonna start and the butterfly, but we ain't gonna go there. Okay.
But Tajah, I'm saying, I want to say that you have been blessing us today with so much realness, so much genuine and realness. And I feel like you're actually being our mindset coach right now. Okay. So now I'm starting to think, how do you get into these conversations with individuals who are, challenged, like the people that seek to help, to kind of change their mindset? It obviously takes a person who's ready, right? Because if they're not ready, it's just not going to happen. They have to be ready. So how do you get into the business of, engaging people and people coming to you and say, you know what, I want you as my coach? How does this all come to fruition?
A lot of times it's something that they see. So I have a Facebook group, and I, do Monday spills with them, whether I do live videos or I put.
What's your Facebook group? Let's let people know.
It's the Achieve Her Mindset.
Okay.
So you can look that up, and it's on Facebook. You can join the group. And I think like this resonates with people, right? Who I am, because I am genuinely this. And this is another big thing I wanted to express. It was very important for me to make my website, make this interview, make who I am, be very transparent, because a lot of times our communities aren't okay with being coached, right? Having a mindset coach, having a mentor, seeking therapy or whatever it is, because we put these taboos on. You need mentors. therapy is great. It's necessary for anybody. And at the end of the day, I don't want you to have to feel like you need to have some level of education to book a session with me, that you need to be at some point in your life to talk to me. You see how real I am, just like Tiff said earlier, right? You know how to turn the hood off to be in the corporate meetings. You know how to stop the corporate and get back to your people, or meet them in the middle, right? Because I'm some of everything, and it's necessary. It's so necessary for us to not forget where we come from, what we've been through, to now who we are. I'm not going to talk to you just because I'm in a doctorate program, for whatever that means to people who are in those programs. I'm in there, sure. And I'm still me. I will always be me. And I want this brand to be reflective of the people who want to be a part of it. Be yourself. Be yourself. Don't think you need to dress it up to talk to me. I don't want that. I want you to come as you are and develop her for whoever that her is in you, right? Like I said, we don't all have the same things. Me and Tiff joked earlier too about the bad and bougie. If that's what you want, cool. Let me attain that. I don't need to live that life. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about that competition. I don't need to compete with you on that. I'm just trying to help you grow that if that's what you want. You understand what I mean? So that's what we have to be okay with. Like, come as yourself. So I get them like that, and I get them through very random experiences. Let me tell you about a random one. I was at work. Probably shouldn't say this, but it is what it is. I was at work doing homework, and somebody, right, telling on myself now. But like, I work for them 2 days a week now, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm doing work. And someone walks by, and she works there, and she's asking me about school initially. Oh, you go to school? And I'm telling her, yeah, I'm going through CTU program at the the company we work for pays for it, and because I just finished my master's back in November. And she was like, oh, I need to do that. I don't know what to do. So I said, oh, come here, sit down. What you mean you don't know? I'm gonna tell you right now. You contact this person, you do this, you do that, wrote it down, everything, because see, achieve her is however you need to achieve her. And I'm telling you right now, if you whirlwinded around a job and they provide education, this is what you need to figure out first, right now.
Yeah.
This is free, get it done. Right. So I'm big on that. So I gave her all the research she needed to do that. And then she asked me, well, what was I planning to do with the degree? And I legitimately looked at her and said, nothing. I just need it for me, right? They offering it for free. I'm taking it. I'm building Tajah. So she asked me, what do I do? So I told her, this is the first time I ever even uttered life coach, ever, right? Because now I'm like, you know what? Let me say it. So I said it. And when I tell you, ladies, the response I got, she now came and sat down, right? I don't know this woman. And if you know about being a Black woman, then you really understand what I'm saying about this. She sat down and started to cry, to tell me about, fertility struggles that she was going through and how much she needed my help because of all, like, just all these things that I couldn't even believe she was saying, because it was so personal. And I know who we are, and I immediately knew of a friend that had these problems or these, these situations, these concerns. And I asked my friend, hey, if I connect with this lady, would you be willing to talk to her? Because that I can help her learn the strength that she has in her and about uplifting her and creating the right space for her. But I can't really talk to her in that sense. Would you be willing to ever talk? And she was like, oh yeah, no problem. I got you. That's what we need. And that's when I knew who I was now, because I saw the impact that just a conversation that started about school did to somebody because of what I said I was and how much she wanted to be in a program like this and talk to me. You know what I mean? And think about it. I'm not all dressed up. I'm at work, right? But I am still who I am, representing what's true about Achieve Her, what's true about Tajah. And I think that's something that always has to be present in your business, who you are, period. Whether you're fully made up in your brand, right, representing yourself, or you outside at the grocery store, right? You can't be preaching, be a blessing, and you out here causing havoc everywhere, right? It's not really helping when you have the resources up under you. Like, I knew exactly what it took to go to school, start it, and what to connect with, right? I could have said, oh, yeah, girl, you should do that. No, get over here and do this right now. Get down, and look what that turned into. It turned into a real conversation about her real life, right? About things she really wanted help with and really wanted to seek out. So that's all I can say. It's about being a blessing and really giving everything you can to a person without any gain to yourself. Because I wasn't going to benefit if she connected with these people and started school, right? I don't care.
You know what? I want to say this though. So the life coach, you're sharing your life's journey.
Yeah.
So actually, my vision looking outside is every single time you are connecting with someone, it is your blessing, because then it takes you to live in your gift. This is a gift that belongs to you, and you're working in your gift. Choosing the word achieve, you know, A, alpha, loving in yourself, chi, energy moving all over the place, Eve, evolution, or in Christianity, being the mother of all, and her, where you know what I mean? So you made decisions on a life journey that you don't even know happened.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
And so what's going on with you now is just the manifestation, and then walking in your space side by side saying, okay, I'm ready to serve this gift. So it's going to happen because it's already been ordained. It was yours organically and innately. That's why the journey was the journey. That's why mom is mom. That's why the shelter was the shelter. That's why this beautiful skin, hair, all of that, working, the job gave you the free education. You're paying for it.
Yep.
Okay? Because you're giving service. It's reciprocal. But this is why this is happening. So I feel like whether you are doing the dress up or the non-dress up, you walk in it.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I love how you just broke that down. I really love it. I love that.
And you know what? It goes also to say the integrity piece, because you talked about kind of living it and being it every day. Doesn't matter what situation you're in, because the other piece is that people need to know who you are and that you live and breathe who you are.
Yeah.
No matter what, right? Like when you could turn things on and off depending on the where you are, what environment you're in.
Right.
But who you are as a person and how people kind of like engage with you, it really is about the integrity of who you are and keeping true to yourself. Because it's so hard. A lot of people think that if I'm in this situation, I have to change who I am, or I need to, no, be who you are, because people want to make sure that they can trust you and trust who you are 24/7. Doesn't matter, right? And that integrity is so important because again, people are going to look at you 24/7. They want to know what Tajah's doing 24/7, how she reacts 24/7, how she's working her business, her program, whatever she is, whoever she is as a mom, as a wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All those elements, you need to stay true to yourself. And that's the other message to people is stay true to yourself and be who you are. You will achieve her by being who you are. Don't try to change things to benefit others, because your tribe's going to be who your tribe, no matter what. But you got to make sure your integrity, who you are as a person, you're that 24/7. Because people watch you.
Yes. And that's so important. I'm glad you said that, because I'm so not with the fit in mentality. Like, just be who you are genuinely. It just works better for yourself when you realize it. Like, trends are cool, but they go away. So be who you are. Because I definitely am a person who wants to show and make sure you know exactly who I am not. The one thing you have to certain is who I am. And I think that's so important. Like, you don't want to meet people and then it's like, I vaguely remember, or, I wasn't too. No, I want my who I am as a person to be just as bold as the brand I represent, right? Achieve her. I want Tajah. My name is unique, right? My name is the top or the crown.
Love it.
I plan to walk into that. And that's why I say I needed my mom. You know what I mean? I needed my mom. My name it's everything for me because of what it really represents. And I didn't know until now. So I'll tell you that, just because one day me and my sister were talking about it, and it was funny to me because my name is Tajah. It means the top or the crown. Akira, my middle name, means finally at last. I told you I was the baby. And Muhammad means praiseworthy. And fitting it is for who I am and what I am achieving and on this journey. And that's why I say I will forever be trying to reach the top or the crown and be the best representative. And to really do that, because everything changed with me. Like, I'm the first one in my family to go to college and finish. And then especially attain my master's, and now, you know, God willing, this doctorate degree. You know, I was very proud of myself, and I had a very strong goal to graduate at the highest level. And I did. I graduated magna cum laude of my master's program. I hope to do the same with this doctoral program. I am trying in the same time of running 2 businesses. And my kids are home, and I have a husband, and, you know, my house is crazy, right? Because all of this started really from January, and, you know, and I think that's necessary to talk about, because I am you. I am not here with systems in place and maids and helpers. This is me. This is one woman, right? Reason why I told you and Tiffany told you, my cup got to stay full, because I can't give you nothing if it's not. Because I got my hands in too many places. So I have to keep my energy good. I have to keep the people around me good. I can't deal with your drama. All I could do for you, sis, is pray about it. You cannot come over here and be dropping loads on me, because that's not helpful, right? And this is what I say about being a mindset coach. You have to talk to people, and you have to help them shift their mindset, because a lot of times we get burdened as women with everybody's stuff.
Can I stop you right there?
Yes.
And just ask a quick question?
Yes.
When you get overloaded like that, how do you refresh?
How do I refresh? Okay. Well, sometimes, many times, I will, like Tiff said, I'll go back to that. I pray 5 times a day, right? I am Muslim. That helps relax me. It brings me back circle. I might talk to my mom. I may talk to my friends who level me out, right? I might talk to my sister. My cousin Travis, who's on here, is a great, great mentor for me. Challenges me. Days I really don't want any noise, any talking, I might turn on an episode of, like, let's see a show that I've watched, because I really don't watch TV. I'm trying to even think. So you guys named the show one time. And I was like, my mom had me on that. It was something that
hip hop.
No, definitely not.
They are ratchet, I'm telling you.
We all need that, but I just can't do the reality TV. But
I think Substance got us watching. What's that? Versus? What's that? Versus?
No,
SWV versus what? Of course, the Saturday before Mother's Day. We all need to know about that.
Yes.
No, it was the show where it was like an older, back in the olden times, and the girl got with the handsome man, the young boy.
Bridgerton.
That's it. My mom was just here visiting. Oh. She had me watch that, but if I go that route, or I might watch something on SVU, you know, I'm always about my special victims. I was going to be an attorney. I was going to go to school for pre-law. That's what my undergrad is in. Look, I'm talking about that real quick. So, because I did want to tell you guys that was another real point in my life.
So hold on 1 second, because we only have a couple of minutes left, and I know that you have a special ebook or something that's going to. So I think we need to get that in.
Okay.
Because we only have a couple minutes to go. Yeah. So let's talk about that ebook and everything else. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's get your business information out there, because we don't want anybody to lose sight of your business and achieve her.
Okay, I'm turning it on right now because I wanted to wait for you guys to launch it. So I am doing that right now.
Congratulations on your book.
Thank you. So I wrote it's an ebook, but it's a mini guide. So it's the 10 steps on where you should minimize and maximize yourself to achieve her. Then it has the activity section at the end where you can fill in things, you know, you want to talk to yourself with, you want to reach out to me. I'm always able and connected through my website or, like I said, my Facebook group. But I thought this was a great way to help women start their starting point, because a lot of times we don't know where to start, or what we're even dealing with, this guide will help you. It talks about 10 factors, and I call them my foul 5 and my fierce 5. The foul 5 you need to minimize. The fierce 5 you need to maximize. Okay. So that's the ebook. You can now find it on my website. And if you use code Sistahship for the digital version, so that's a fillable form, okay, that will get it to you at $9.99. If you want the printable like me, I like printing things out because I write them down. You're going to use code Sistahship with 21 at the end of it.
And for those of you that don't know, I just posted that in the chat room of the live chat room, so people can write that information down as well. So thank you for getting that information out.
Real one question. I know we're running. So you do groups? Do you do one-on-ones as well?
I did, but I don't do them now. I may in the future, because what I realized is women like to talk when they see other women facing similar situations, like similar setbacks in a group setting. It just creates a different kind of energy. And they may still veer off at the end to talk to me one-on-one, but it helps bring about something, because it might not necessarily be something I say. It could be something that another person says that connects them. You know what I mean? So what I have launched is under my services page on my website, it's a 5-week program. It's the mindset shift. I think it's going to be great for women to get. And if you use code early, I'll tell you that now too, early, that it's $99. So that's another good program that I'm starting. I think it's in July. So I'm very excited about that. It's a group setting for women, for us to talk about the evolution of mindset, the critical role it plays in your life, and then ultimately, how you get there.
And your website again is achievehermindset.com.
Okay. So let's not forget, they can pick up that fly gear that you have on. And I just launched my spring collection. So we have the spring collection out. We have masks out. We have all those lovely things. So I hope you ladies check it out.
Yeah.
One last thing before we go, just tell your cousin Travis, thank you. We want him to continue to talk to other men. We are launching a brothership soon. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, men need to learn how to become good support systems.
Absolutely. And you cannot achieve her. What I tell them all the time is you cannot achieve her without them. We all need each other. We all need each other.
And bless your husband. I know you have children, and I'm sure they're looking at mom and know how a strong support system you are to them as well, and them achieving themselves, right? So you had a strong support system with your mom. Thanks to your mom, thanks to your family, because we really need to make sure people understand there are circles around you, whether it be family, friends, things of that nature, that need to be there and support each other. Mm-hmm. I thank your mom for having you, because you were able to come on this show and show us how you achieve her and that mindset change. We love you, Tajah.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Any last words you got for the viewers out there?
I would say to you all, we love you, we appreciate you, but most importantly, I want you to invest in yourself to achieve the person that you really want to achieve. You have everything you need. Everything you need inside of you. You just have to commit to a plan. That's it. It's one day at a time. It's one day at a time. And then my last is always be a blessing to others.
And you have been a blessing to us today. Thank you so much, Tajah.
Thank you.
Info, Lady Wisdom, and Tiffany Cole welcome every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Now come on, let's talk about it. Sistahship, we got this. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sistahship, we got this. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sistahship, we got this. Now come on, let's talk about it.
We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with you. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with you.